This is Human Resource Machine. It's a game by Kyle Gaber, and I'm not sure who else, but he is the co-creator of World of Goo, and also that Fireplace one, Little Inferno. And you'll recognise the style of everything about this from both those games, like from the font to the kind of visual richness. I've done the first two levels. It's been basic enough so far that I can just explain what's already been covered. But it's basically a game where you sort of, I wouldn't say you write programs, but you create a set of instructions for your worker to follow, and it's very much equivalent to programming, but presented in a much more palatable way, a much more sort of graspable visual way. The inbox conveyor system is completely broken, but that doesn't mean we get to take a break from work. Okay, ignore the inbox for now and just send the following 3 letters to the outbox. BUG. The facilities management staff has placed some items over there on the carpet for you. If only there were a way you could pick them up. Okay, so I'll just show you what I've got so far. These are the instructions I can use, and I can put as many copies as I like. If I put inbox, it means he'll go to the inbox. If I put outbox, it means he'll go to the outbox. He automatically picks things up, so if I do inbox, outbox, he'll pick something up from the inbox and take it to the outbox. And then he'll just stop, and this guy will yell at me because I did it wrong. Outbox minus 99. And then you can just stop. And jump is a way of creating loops, so you can do jump, and then you tell it where you want to jump it back to, and so you can repeat one thing infinitely. I'm not sure if you can set like a count, probably you can eventually, but not yet. Anyway, what they want me to do is probably copy from, because that's the new thing. Copy from... Oh, I see, they're all numbered, so we want the one in 4. Do I just click on it? Yeah. Let's just see what that does, because I don't totally understand what it means yet. That just means pick up, does it? I wish they wouldn't like yell at you immediately. You're going to want to test a lot, so it's annoying to just be constantly told you failed. That was a test. It was a successful test. So I guess then go to outbox, and then copy from 0, yes. Yep, I've already done it. Go to outbox, and copy from 3, and go to outbox. Don't know why the numbers are really relevant, because you just click on the thing you want. And you can speed it up. It's even got, I think there's some kind of visual effect showing it speeding up. Like, it's maybe not motion blur, but something, the fast forward looks fancier than conventional fast forward.
Back to work, everyone.
Regions of the city continue to experience power failure. Local authorities are investigating.
This is something I loved about Little Inferno was like it's a really simple game, but every time there was hints about the outside world, it would just be really kind of sinister and mysterious, and you always had the sense of like something bigger going on that you weren't really privy to. Let's do a blue thing. Where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years? I have a note here from your other boss that says, from this point on, your performance will be evaluated with extra scrutiny. What a treat. Okay, send all things that are not 0 to the outbox. You got a jump if 0. That's weird. It seems like a very specific game. Okay, send all things that are not 0 to the outbox. So we're going to go to the inbox, and then I guess just if it is 0, do you think we have to put the current one down, or could we just replace it? Let's try. I just want to do that, and then only if we get out of that loop do we go to the outbox. We've got all this floor space, so I'm guessing that's not the solution, but it seems to me that if it's... Oh, we didn't do a proper loop for the rest of it. So an unconditional jump all the way back. So, take the non-zero thing. This one is 0. Yeah, that works. Didn't you put anything in the local storage? I'm the greatest. ...23 steps? Oh, I see, that's the number of, like, instructions he follows. He's challenges can be very difficult, and in many cases it's not possible to optimize for both simultaneously. Well, in your face, because I did. And it was easy. Zero preservation initiative. Oh, I see, we're going to preserve all the zeros this time. Only zeros to box. Right, so go to the inbox, and now if it is 0, we want to loop. Oh, sorry, if it is 0, we want to carry it across. So we're trying to sort of do a negative, really, because if it's 0... So one thing I could do is not loop the whole thing. So basically if we did inbox, outbox, and then only repeat that if the thing was 0, then that would iterate once, and then not iterate again unless we had a 0. But that's not very good, because it's going to do one erroneous thing. It's going to take that 9 over there before it even has a chance to stop. So what I'm wondering is, what if we put the outbox thing first? And then, so it goes to the outbox, there's nothing there. Goes to the inbox, picks up the 9, and then only if it's 0 does he jump back to the start and take it to the outbox. But then this will only run once, so we want another jump around it. So that if he gets past this, he goes to the outbox, goes back to the inbox, and then... So I think this thing ensures that he doesn't do anything productive unless the thing is 0. And then this one just repeats that check again and again. Let's see... I wasn't trying to put anything out, I just wanted him to go there. Alright. So we can't do that. Not allowed to go to the outbox first. Maybe we need to use this memory space in the middle. Maybe... What if he goes to... Let's actually just... Can I scrap everything? Yeah, clear it. Go to the inbox. Apparently we just have to do that, isn't it? You're not allowed to do anything at all until you've gone to the inbox. Copy the value to 0. And then... If the thing we've got is 0... Oh, do you think you can jump down? Ah, so it's not like... It's not entirely like a loop. Okay, well that's easy then. So maybe we get rid of that and say, go to the inbox, and if 0, we jump all the way down to this part where we go to the outbox. But if it's not 0, so 0 we're going to skip going back to the inbox. And if it's not 0, we don't jump anywhere, so we go straight back to the inbox. So, get something. If it's 0, go straight to the outbox, and then of course we want another loop around the entire thing. So we've got a forwards jump, that's interesting. Let's just test it. That's not 0. Hey, look at that. What? Yeah, I need to step back. Why did that happen? Okay. It's there, it goes to the 3. He sees that it is not 0, so it doesn't jump, it goes into the inbox again. And then he gets to the outbox anyway. He picks that up. Yeah, he's come out of that jump thing, because there's nothing that sends him back. So we need to send him back here. So I think we need yet another loop. Can I stop? Yeah. So I think this thing needs to loop as well. Does it need to loop there? So if he's 0, he jumps ahead. So this thing needs to be above that. And then let's try that. So goes to the inbox. If the thing he's got is 0, he jumps all the way to the part where he takes it to the outbox. And then he would loop back to the start. That path is all valid. If he takes something from the inbox and it's not 0, he doesn't jump there, goes to the inbox again. Now what if he picks up something else that is also not 0? Then we want to do that check again. So actually this needs to loop to there, because he wants to keep checking, then taking new ones, checking, taking new ones, checking, taking new ones. If we go all the way back there, he would replace it without checking, so he could potentially let a 0 through. I wonder what happens if your code isn't valid but happens to work for the particular section of inputs that you get, because that's totally possible. So, picks up 1, takes it over there, I wonder, do you think this outer loop is actually necessary? Oh yeah, because if he goes to the outbox, we need him to loop it. Interesting system. Because these jumps are like ifs and loops all together. Six commands. Interesting. So it thinks I can do it in one less. Let's just... I'm not going to try too hard at this, but I'm curious as to how it would work. Is it possible that one of these jumps is unnecessary? So let's get rid of that one for a sec and say goes and takes something from the inbox. If it is 0, he skips over this part, takes it to the outbox. But then we've got to have some kind of loop below that. The question is, can it double up with this one? I guess there's two inbox things here. What would happen if we moved the first inbox? It means we're performing a check before we have anything on our hands, which might throw an error, but it's possible that could work. Okay, yeah, I think there's a simpler way to do this, because if you take something from the inbox and it's 0, jump to the outbox part. If it's not 0, then we go back to the start. Yeah. So is that less? Yeah, that's 5 commands. Let's see if that works. Seems to do what it should. Was that a goal? Hooray! And then, who knows with that, I don't really care about how many steps it takes. They do say you can't necessarily optimize them both at once, so maybe a longer program uses fewer steps. Hard to see how I could use fewer steps though. You just pick something up. Oh, I suppose it's to do with the number of loops and checks. Ah, terrible black mark on my record for not getting that other thing. I don't want to redo it multiple times to optimize different things though. For each two things in the inbox, first subtract the first from the second and put the result in the outbox. And then subtract the second from the first and put the result in the outbox. So both. Okay. Go to the inbox. Copy that thing to slot 1. Go to the inbox again. Wait. First subtract the first from the second. So then subtract the first from the second. That means subtract what we put here from what we're holding. And then it seems like when you do that, I think this might be where the duplication thing comes in, the reason that there's infinite copies of everything. Because I think this is wrong. I think we're going to want to copy the other one down as well, because we still need it. We don't want it to get it replaced by our result. So after we've done this, do we still have it in our hand? Let's just try that. Yeah, so you keep it in your hand. Don't like it when he yells at me. So if he's holding number 2, then he can sub that one, and then he's got to take that to the outbox, and then he should copy from 0 and subtract from 1. So that says put the first thing in box 0, put the second thing in box 1, subtract, while still holding the second thing, subtract the first one from it and put that result out, and then pick up the first one and then subtract what's in box 1, which is the second thing, confusingly, and take it to the outbox. I wonder if the reason they give you 3 slots is so that you can, if you like, use 1 and 2 for first and second rather than 0 and 1, because programmers work with 0 and 1, but normal people would work with 1 and 2. And then I guess just loop the whole thing. Let's see. Puts it down. Takes 5 over there. Puts that there. 5 minus 2, 3. Then he should do 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. Puts that there too. And then loops the whole thing. He's a maths machine! He hasn't yelled at me yet. Hooray! Hooray! I don't know how else you would do it. There doesn't seem to be a lot of room for screwing that up. Shall we go back and see what these yellow ones are? Why are they different colour? I didn't know. Oh, I guess we got rated on performance in the blue ones. Who are you? This optional area is for high-performing employees only. Is that you? Well, you're late. 7 years late. We need to make some changes around here. I want to see a 100% performance increase. Let's put on your performance will be valued with extra scrutiny. That's what they said in the other place. I think these 2 branches are the same. I mean, in the theme. For each thing in the inbox, triple it. And outbox the result. Self-improvement tip. Where are we going with this? Please leave the high-level decisions to management. Triple it. And all we've got is an add command. So I would think that we want to copy it to slot 1, and then we keep a copy in our hand for some weird reason. That's sort of making more sense to me now. Or at least I see why it's effective, but it's still conceptually really bizarre. And then we would add what's in slot 1 to what we're holding, even though that's also the thing we just put down. And then I don't think we can do a jump because we can't tell it how many jumps to do. We can only do infinite jumps. Yeah, I know what it is. Shut up. So I guess we just got to repeat that. I think we might even be able to just repeat the add. Don't think we need to copy it to again. And then outbox, and then jump back to the start. So take something from the inbox, put it down. You need to put it down, I think, so that you can add it, because then you've got 2 copies. Add them together, add them together, add them together. The result stays in my hand, so we're not increasing what's in the box. And then take it to the outbox and go. Puts down the 3, adds it to the 3, adds the 3. Oh no, that's too much. To triple something, you only need to add onto it twice. Puts down the 1, adds it to the 1, adds it to the 1 again, that makes 3. And he ignores what's there, he's going to overwrite what's there. Puts them together, minus 2, minus 3, and then we should have 15 and 0. 15 and 0. I wonder what the conditions are for that. 6 for your commands. We did that. Yeah, these 2 things seem the same most of the time. What is that? Measures the number of commands your program must execute before it finishes. On average, fewer is better. Average computed by testing your solution against many determinate lists. Ah, okay. So it's not how many steps it took for that cycle, it's it tests it against loads of other ones. Curious. Octuplier suite. Oh really? We just got to add it 4 times? You can always check your own performance on each assignment's optimization challenges. The 2 green lights next to each button. Yeah, I know that. Is there anything in life more thrilling than self-improvement? Ooh, she's got an extra thing to say. Tell me more! You might be wondering how you can self-improve if you're already perfect. Yes, I like to work on improving others. I find other people really appreciate that. So I guess I can still talk to her, but... Oh no, actually. Oh. If your inbox is that... Oh, see, I haven't read the brief yet. For each thing in the inbox, multiply it by 8 and put the result in the outbox. Using a bunch of add commands is easy, but wasteful! Can you do it using only 3 add commands? Management's watching. Yeah, I assume that's going to be the extra objective. So I would think it's something like... Take something from the inbox, copy it to slot 0, and then add it to what we're holding. But then, instead of repeatedly adding it, copy the result to... I think probably just the same slot. And then... We're still holding it, aren't we? So let's say this is 1. Put the 1 down, we add it to 1, we get 2. We put the 2 down, and we're still holding a 2. because you keep a copy of whatever you put down. So then add what's in that slot. So by adding it the first time we double it, by adding it the second time we quadruple it, and then to add it to do it by 8 we just do that again. I wonder if we could do a limited count loop, this would be even more efficient. Just loop it 3 times. And then take it to the outbox. And then, so what do they say? 3 add commands. Yep, that's what we've done. And jump to the start. Takes a 6, puts it down, adds them together, puts that down. Adds those together, puts that down. Adds those together, takes it to the thing. They haven't yelled at me yet, so I assume that's the right answer. Okay, and 0. Hooray! I assume it's the quickest way to do it as well, yeah. I wonder, I mean, it says it tests it against many deterministically generated input sets. Yeah, so there's no random element to that. It's there's a set of things it tests against. And I wonder if they actually have some kind of theory, like some kind of way of calculating what the average number of steps to completion is, rather than actually doing tests. I mean, it says it does tests, so I suppose it does. But I think there's a bunch of maths about how you calculate that kind of thing, how you can prove that something always terminates in a certain number of steps. What a wonderful feeling when all your work over the last few years all comes together and culminates in a well-executed assignment. Tell me more. Yes, even when the product of our labour is dumped into a waste bin in the next room, the important thing is that we take pride in our well-executed process. Okay, for each thing in the inbox, multiply it with 40 and put the result in the outbox. 40? We just multiply by 8 just then. So, I mean, it's 8 times 5. I don't know if that helps. Multiply by 40. So I'm going to copy it to there, add it to what's in our hand, which will be a duplicate, and then we put it back down. I mean, we can do the 8 thing again. After we multiply it by 8, how do we multiply it by another 5? Just repeating the adds? I mean, if we... So, prime factors of 40. It's 10 times 4, which is... it's 8 times 5, so it's 2 by 2 by 2 by 5. I don't know how that helps, really. I don't know if prime numbers are relevant here. I was wondering if there's some way to, like, add it an odd number of times to itself, and then multiply that result by... Yeah, if we got 5 copies of it, and then multiply that by 8, using the previous method, that would work. So without putting it down, I'm going to do it just 5 fucking times. It's going to be a bit annoying to do. I wish it would default to 0 or something. So to multiply by 5, we need to add it 4 times. Oh, you can just click on it. So that will... We want to see 25 out of this. Yep. So that multiplied by 5, and then we're going to shove that down into that spot, and then we want to octuple it. So yes, copy down what we got, then add it to what we got, then copy down what we got. Oh no, sorry, wrong command. Copy 2, add it to what we've got. Okay, so this was multiplying by 5. This is doubling that, so multiplying by 10. This is doubling that, so multiplying by 20. Yes. It's doubling that, multiplying by 40. And then take it to the outbox and loop. I have some faith that that's right. I have very little faith that that's the best solution, because it looks hacky as hell. So 1, this is going to be a very easy test of whether this is working. We add it to itself until we have 5 times 1. Then we double that to get 10, double that to get 20, double that to get 40, take it to the exit. Fucking textbook. Don't think we need to look at the rest because we'll never get a clearer proof of it working than that. Seems very happy about his job, doesn't he? Tetracontiplied, I think that's a real term for this. Oh, apparently that's the shortest program you can do it with. Alright. I would be interested to know if people sort of get stuck on that one, because it's quite mathsy, and then also it's just kind of really daunting. Like, even once you know what turns out to be the correct and optimal solution, it doesn't feel optimal, it feels silly. Equalization room. Sometimes some numbers are bigger than other numbers. Sometimes they are the same. How can we know? I read about that here in this great book, Which Number Are You? For the Aspirational Zero. You can borrow it later. What more do you have to say, sir? Oh, you're doing just fine. I don't have a favourite employee. I enjoy supervising them all equally. Get 2 things in the inbox. If they're equal, put one of them in the outbox. Discard non-equal pairs. Repeat. You got comments. You can use them if you like to mark sections of your program. Okay. I probably don't. So, this is taking up rather a lot of space. Even the brief is taking a lot of space. What are those tabs? Do you think that's for making extra versions of the program? Okay. Get something from the... Oh, we don't have an equals test, so we have to do the jump if 0 thing. I think that's the only conditional we ever get. I wonder if you can do everything with that. Get something from the inbox. We're going to have to put it down, aren't we? Because we need to get something else. So put it there. Get something else in the inbox. And then we would subtract that from it. Doesn't matter which way around we subtract it, because if the answer's 0, it doesn't matter. And if the answer's not 0, then it'll be not 0 regardless of which way around you do it, whether it's positive or negative. So, sub-0, and then if what's in our hand is 0, then we jump straight to an outbox thing. But if it's not, we want to go back and just start again. So, right after this, we have a jump going back to the start, so that says, yeah, and then before that, we want to jump over the jump. So, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but this is saying, take a thing, put it down, take another thing, subtract them, and then if we get a 0, jump straight to the outbox part, and if we don't get a 0, then we don't do this jump, and we hit this jump, and this jump takes us back to the start, and we loop the whole thing. I remember last time I did this, it turned out that one of the inboxes things wasn't required, but I don't see an easy way to get rid of it just yet. So let's find out. I think this will work. Not sure if it's efficient. Put it down. These are not equal, so we're going to find that we get a 3, and so we go back to the start. These things are equal, so we subtract them, we'll get 0, and we take... Oh no! We took the 0. Okay, so if it was successful, we've ended up with a 0 in our hands because we subtracted what was in the box, but the value itself is still in the box. So it certainly makes sense to me now why there's a copy of everything every time you take it, because you need to both use it and keep a reference of it. So yeah, copy from 0 and then take to the outbox. Let's see how that works. Take 7, no good. Next 5. Oh, that looks really confusing because there was already a 5 there. But this seems to work. There's not equal. Cuts that down, takes another one. Alright. This is like the hardest way to do if statements. I wonder why they, I don't care about this thing. It's quite hard to visualize what would be the... I know the thing you study in, the thing I studied at university, I did a module on algorithms as part of my maths, and often you study the efficiency of sorting algorithms. So you have a bunch of data that could be in any order, you don't know what it is, and you want to sort it in like ascending order of numbers or something. And there are lots of different algorithms that can do that, and some of them are more efficient on certain types of data, and some of them are more efficient on others. Like if the list is nearly sorted, there are some types of sort that are terrible for that and will take ages, even though the list is nearly done, and there are others that are very good at sifting through stuff that's already in order and then only switching the ones that aren't. And so this is kind of like that, but I don't know why, but I don't have a good intuitive sense for it. It's been a change of plans. The accounting department has determined that treating all numbers equally is no longer profitable. Management wants the big numbers only. Tell me more. I don't really care which numbers are bigger or smaller. I get paid the same no matter what. Grab 2 things from the inbox and put only the bigger of the 2 in the outbox. If they are... we've got another conditional here. If they are equal, just pick either one. Okay. This just seems so... What I would expect this to do is give me an if command, and then when you place the if command you choose what it's going to be equal to, like just a number, or... But I suppose you wouldn't be able to do greater than or less than with that, but then I just do those as extra commands. Basically the way I would do it is just to make exact equivalents to the same instructions I use in programming. Anyway, go to the inbox, grab something, copy it to 0, go back to the inbox. Now we've got 2 things, one in our hand and one in slot 0, and we want to find out which is bigger. So we can do it with the sum. We'll subtract what's in box 0. So what's in box 0 is the first thing we found. And now, if what is in our head is negative, in our hand, sorry, if the number that we're holding is negative now, oh, you know what, we should have put down, we're going to need to put down both numbers because we don't want to lose it when we do the subtraction. By doing the subtraction we sort of overwrite what's in our hand. So, got both numbers, we keep it in our hand still, and we're still going to subtract what's in 0. And then if what we have in our hand is negative, then we know that 0 is bigger than 1. That sounds confusing, but the thing in slot 0 is bigger than the thing in slot 1. They could have called them A and B and C. The first thing is bigger. So, if the result is negative, we want to jump to, never mind what we're going to jump over, but we're going to jump to a thing where we pick up what's in 0, copy from 0, and take to our box. Now, if it's not negative, then if it's 0 we don't care because either thing we do will be correct. But if it's not negative, then we want to copy from 1 and outbox that. I'm pausing here because it seems redundant to have 2 different outbox things, and I think that's probably a clever way to have it jump to the end. Let's just do it the simplest way we can. So if the thing is negative, we jump to the point where we do this. If the thing is positive, we do this. But when we get here, we don't want to also do this. So I think we put an unconditional jump here and say go back to the start. And then ditto for once we do that. So yeah, this is interesting because I think this is fine. But in both cases, we have an outbox and then an unconditional jump. So, I think I'm going to be mad and I'm going to try and optimize it now. I think I can only remove one instruction from this, but I can do it. I can say, if we just copied from 1 and then we put it out, then if we just copied from 1, then we want to jump to the part where we put it in the outbox, and then we can get rid of this command. So, if it's negative, we jump to the point where we pick up 0, and if it's not negative, we pick up from 1, and in either case, in both cases, we put it to the outbox, and we jump back to the start. I think that's good. Don't know if that's the only optimization you can do, but... Hey, you did it! You picked up the big one. I'm sort of surprised when it works. So here we should pick up the -3 in the end. We did. Program works. So 2, now they're equal, so it doesn't matter what the fuck he does now, as long as he doesn't take the 0 to the outbox. 4 and -9, let's hope he takes the 4. This is, like, it's got to the point where I can't really follow the logic of what I just did. I know it all made sense when I was writing it down, but when I'm watching him, I'm like, so if you subtract 4 from -9, then what does the answer being negative tell you about the numbers? Like, that kind of stuff is not intuitive to me. So I could have optimized it. I could have used fewer commands. I'm going to look at that. I might not solve this, but this part seems pretty efficient to me. Does it? I suppose this is a jump. I think to do a conditional where you have one thing in one case and the other thing in the other case, but you never do both of them. Oh, maybe you can do both of them. Because if you already did that one, like if you had the wrong value in your hand and then you pick up the right value, it doesn't matter that you ever had the wrong value in your hand. So if we want... this is the only if statement. So let's hypothetically say, what if we took that out? So if it's negative, they jump straight to copying 1. Oh no, that wouldn't work. Because then if it's not negative, they'd also end up copying 1. So maybe what I'm thinking is pick up 1 anyway. This seems mad. And then I haven't even moved anything here, have I? I've just rearranged things, so this isn't any more efficient. And then if it's negative, skip to there, and then we don't need that one. This might be reversed now, I might have just reversed the logic. What did we say originally here? We're holding thing 2, and so if we subtract what's in thing 1 and we get a negative, then the thing in 0 is bigger. Thing in 0 is bigger if we get a negative. So we pick up the thing in 2, and then if it's negative, we overwrite it with the thing... Wait, no we don't. We do the opposite. So maybe we reverse these. Pick up the thing in 1, and then... Oh no, we can't do that now because we need to do the negative test while we're still holding the thing. I don't think I'm helping matters, am I? So this is what I had before. What else might we be able to get? We've got to pick up 2 things. You kind of do have to put them both down, I think. At best, we'd have to... No, I'm pretty sure you've got to put them both down. Because otherwise, as soon as you use subtraction, you've lost one of the values, so you can't get it back if you decided it was bigger. This hasn't undone enough. Ah, there we are. The undo button moved. I wondered why it suddenly stopped. Is it gonna... Oh fuck, I don't know how much I've undone now. Oh god, can I just leave? I just want to leave now. I can't do it. Okay, so... that was too complicated.
And that, ladies, is how I saved a bundle on my long-distance telephone service. Back to work, everyone.
Why do the TV only turn on when they leave?
A massive army of machines has surrounded the city. The machines are not moving, and they are not communicating.
See what I mean?
Authorities are investigating.
About the sinister hints in the outside world. I wonder if it's all going to tie together, because sometimes, I don't know, I can believe that it might just not. Exclusive lounge is going to be about exclusive or statements. I've always felt most comfortable with nice, cold, logical decisions. Emotional decisions are for the weak. For each 2 things in the inbox, send a 0 to the outbox if they have the same sign, both positive or both negative. Send a 1 to the outbox if their signs are different. Repeat until the inbox is empty. So if they are the same sign, then send a 0. And they've given us a 0 and a 1. And I think if we copy from... In fact, yeah, the reason it says copy from is because so that it leaves one behind, I guess. So maybe that's the difference between the inbox pickup and the copy from pickup, is that's telling you you're duplicating to it. I should have took that sooner, shouldn't I? That's actually, it's pretty much explained. This assignment is a basic Boolean logical operation. It's called XOR, exclusive OR. There's new information, you may research independently if you like. Alright. So, we're going to go to the inbox. We're going to have to copy the thing down. We're going to have to go to the inbox again. So, I want to, maybe even before I put the thing down, if it's negative, I sort of want to, let's see, 0 if they both have the same sign. If the thing I'm holding is negative, I kind of want to move one of these things. So we could say copy from 0 and copy to that. So if it's negative, we're going to move this up and there. We actually do have to put it down first, because otherwise we're going to overwrite it with the 0 that we pick up. Actually, it doesn't matter if we overwrite it. I'm going to use these as memory, basically. I'm going to say, anytime we find something 0, we move this up, and then when we find the next thing, we do what? I wonder what happens if moving this, if we then went to check the old place with that. Oh no, the old place would have a 0 in it, so that's fine. Is it fine? Don't know. Okay, so let's do something where, after we put this thing down, if we do put it down, if it's negative we put a 0 here, and if it's positive we'll put a 1 there. But then when we take the next one, how are we going to know about that? How will we do this? This is surprisingly taxing. I want to do something like, it's going to be some kind of manipulation with the 0. Maybe I'll just sort of make half of this and see how it runs and what happens. So, for now I am going to put the values down in these slots. So I'm going to take 1, put it in 0, and if it's negative, then I want to copy from 4 and put it in 2. If it's negative, I'm going to move the 0 up 1. 2 is going to be our placeholder slot. And this jump thing means that if it's not negative, we want to jump past that. In fact, if it's not negative, let's copy from 5 and copy to 2. So if it's negative, we go to this bit and we do that, and then we should put in another jump there to make sure we don't overdo this. So these kind of daisy-chained jumps are how you do if statements, it seems. So this says, if it's negative, we do this bit. If it's not negative, we're going to jump down to this bit. And then, either way, we go back to the inbox. But we can't loop because we want to copy to a different slot now. We want to copy to 1. I don't think we need to put them down at all, but I'm just going to do it because it puts my brain at ease to not be losing data. So then, if the thing we're holding at that point is negative, I think actually, if we don't put them down, we can loop this whole thing. Maybe. Oh, it's quite tricky, Okay, I think I know how to check the data. So, now if a thing is negative, if this thing is negative, that we just picked up, then if and only if a 0 is there, we want to take the 0 to the outbox. it's negative, then if and only if a 0 is there, take it to the outbox. Right. How do we check whether a 0 is in that location? The way we can do it is by taking what's in that location. So we've already put down the thing we wanted, and we're going to say copy from. This is going to be so inefficient. We want to take that thing, and then we're going to subtract 1 from it. Take that thing, subtract 1. So take whatever's in there, subtract 1. And then if that is negative, then we know it was a 0. And I know this isn't valid yet. If there was a 1 there, then we end up with a negative thing. And if that is the case, we want to jump to a place where we pick up the 1 and take that to thing. We'll just check a brief. It's a 0 if they're the same sign, yeah. So this would, we want to jump to a point where we copy a 1 from slot 5 and take it to the outbox. Now, what was going on back here? I've gone 2 jumps past. Back here, we took new thing from the inbox, put it down. Then, if the thing that we're holding is negative, we pick up this and do a check. If it's not negative, the thing we're holding now is not negative, then what we want to know next is the thing we're holding is not negative. Maybe I need comments. If... oh, what the fuck? Oh, have I got to draw them by hand? Oh, come on. That's fucking shit. I'm never going to use that then, am I? Also, how do I get out of it? Ugh. I can't write out the whole comment by hand. This is programming, goddammit. So basically, this was the thing to we want to do 2 different checks. I can already tell I'm not doing this the smartest way. There is a cleverer way to do it, but I just want to get something working first. The reason we do a check here is because if it's negative, we want to do we want to find out if there's if the old one was negative, which is if there's a 0. I suddenly think there's a much better way to do this. Like that we don't need to use memory. If what we're holding is negative, yeah, I might start again. I think there's a way better way to do this. This way I'm doing it is going to end up very, very long and complicated, I think. Take something from the inbox. If it's negative, we're just going to do like nested conditionals. So, if our thing is negative, then take something else from the inbox. And I think, I'm not quite sure how we do this. It's very awkward to structure these, because I do what should happen if it is true, and then that creates this garbage thing where like it jumps to the place that it's already in. Anyway, if it is negative, go back to the inbox, and if that is negative as well, then copy from slot 4 and take it to the outbox. So that's the both negative thing already done. Now, if the first one was negative and the next one's positive, so the else case for this if it's negative, we do this. If it's positive, then we want to copy from 5 and take that to the outbox. And then afterwards jump out. I think even jump all the way back to the start. And I can't decide whether to do it this way, where we have 2 jumps but both going to the start, or I could have this other jump just skip over the copy from. Yeah, I'm going to do that actually. This jump is just going to take us to there, and then we can scrap that outbox. So let's read this back. Pick something up. If it's negative, some other stuff will happen if it's not. But if it is negative, then go back to the inbox, and if that thing is negative, then go to slot 4 and take the 0 to the outbox. Go to slot 4, take the 0 to the outbox, and jump back to the start. If the second thing is not negative, so if negative we jump there, if it's not negative then we copy from 5, which is picking up a 1, and then we jump over that instruction and take that to the outbox. That is perfect. Now, we need to do that whole thing again, but with the opposite result. So if that's negative, we jump to here. If it's not negative, then we still want to go back to the inbox. I think we have to duplicate that, because if we go to that point, it becomes harder. We can't remember where we were. So I'm doing this in a nested loop way instead of a memory storage way. And I don't know if the memory storage way would have been... I think it's even messier. So this bit is for... Let's just try this. Not... neg... go to the inbox, and then if that thing is negative, our first thing is not negative, our second one is negative, therefore we want to pick up a 1. So copy from that and outbox it. If neither of them are negative, then we would copy from 0 and take that to the outbox. And again, we're going to be able to make that more efficient, because we're going to put a jump here and say that we'll just jump over that, and that means we can take out that outbox. I think that's it. I think that's the whole thing is done. But it's so long and awkward that I can't be bothered to read it back, so I'm just going to test it. What the fuck? He just threw it away. Oh right, that's what he's supposed to do. Fucking hell, no, he didn't even check anything there. Alright, so what happened there was it was positive. Something in the inbox. He didn't jump over here. He went straight to the not negative thing. Oh, we haven't gone back to the inbox. That's the issue. We need to go back to the inbox. So, by getting to this point, thing is positive. Then we go back to the inbox, and if that is negative, yeah, that's all we missed. It's just we didn't check the second thing. So those are different, so he picks up a 1. The next two are also different, so he's going to pick up a 1 again. He's doing it, he's doing it, he's doing it. These are the same, so I hope he's going to go and pick up the 0. No, you fool! What happened there? So, it was the 6 and the 2, wasn't it? I want to go back even further. So, we got an instruction to go to the inbox. Whoa, that's not the right one. Why hasn't he gone back to the start? Anytime you put something in the outbox, you should be looping all the way back to the start. Can't I edit this while I'm still running it? I can't edit this, I've got to stop the whole thing, have I? Oh Christ, what's the point of that restriction? So yeah, anytime you go to the outbox, you've got to go back to the beginning. I think that's all that was happening there. So 9 and 8 are different, so I want him to pick up as 1. He did. 9 and minus 3 are different, so he's going to pick up a 1. Good job, sir. Minus 2 and minus 4 are the same sign, so he's hopefully going to pick up a 0. He's doing it! 6 and 7 are the same, so he's hopefully going to pick up a 0. He's doing it! Fucking genius! Now let's find out how much more efficient we could have been. Because I'm sure that's not optimal. 12 or fewer. 17. Yeah, so I think that's something to do with memory. There's some way to sort of invert that process. I think it's quite simple, but I need it in coding language. I need to see it in the language I'm used to and not this very, very... it's actually very verbose, even though it's simpler commands and it's designed to be simple. The simpler you make the building blocks, the longer the program gets. So this is like... I mean, this is literally one line in any actual coding language. Just an exclusive OR is just a built-in command. But yeah, this makes it very hard to track what you've done. And that's probably where I'm going to leave it, because it's got complicated enough for now.